Cool.
Okay. Okay. So were you able to get any work done?
Yeah, so before I got COVID, that week leading up to it, I made the content bucket for the Grand Street.
Okay.
Um
Is it in
uh
Zoho?
yeah,
Okay.
it's in a little like task bar that
Okay.
is just called Grand Street Content Bucket.
Okay.
Um
Let
so
me,
I've got a bunch of stuff for that. Yeah.
okay. So let's pull it up and let's look at it. And I'm gonna share my screen with you so you can see. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so we got a Grand Street content calendar. Okay, put in Excel constant start schedule of, okay. Is this it? Where is it?
It's in the Grand Street Content Bucket under the TMT toolbox.
Okay. Okay, got you. Okay. So this is week 1, ADA accessible. Mimkin Jean, Nicole Early, accessible housing availability for the growing of U.S. elderly population, housing society, research as a nation, the U.S. is on the verge of a tremendous boom in elderly population, the census and with the elder pop. Okay, so so this is where this came from, and the reason why accessible housing is important is what I'm looking at, right?
Yeah.
Disability versus accessibility versus universal versus adaptable. Did you learn a lot while you were doing this?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Adaptability is a concept in which includes, and then you have the verbiage for what you can say, right?
Mhm.
Converting existing traditional dwelling to meet accessibility or visitable standards is much more expensive than planning. And okay, ADA. Okay, so you did it on ADA accessibility. So then week 2 is environmental sustainability. Okay, good. High five. Good job.
Good to hear. Good to hear. I did it. I did something right.
Yeah, good job. Sustainable development. Okay, good. Okay, so what you did was you created a lot of stuff, and then you have what? Gentrification and displacement. Okay, so now you can become knowledgeable and you're more not. And so before you were like, it's not enough content. You see how, yeah, there really is content. You just have to think in terms of your industry, the keywords of your industry. Now, when you begin to make these posts, what's going to happen is the search engines are going to see that DCLT is now associated with accessibility. It's now associated with the history of Durham. So you've got this. Let's see. In this way, gentrification is double-edged sword, the rate of poverty. Okay. Week 2, community gardens. Okay, good job. History of Hayti, East Durham. Week 3. Week 4, amenities and construction, home renovation, green renovations, environmental and sustainable. Good job. And where did you get majority of this information from?
Google Scholar, like articles I found on Google Scholar. Yeah, I'm pretty sure everything, and then I got like some news articles just from regular Google search.
Okay. So this is good. So now you have a bucket of content around an issue that Durham Community Land Trustees is a part of. And so now what you want to look at doing is you want to understand the embassies in which you're going to place these. Okay, so today is about embassies. You ready? You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to looking at the embassies. Were you able to move into that content, or did you just finish the bucket of content?
I just have the bucket of content.
Okay, so let's look at the embassies, because really the embassies is like understanding the rules of engagement with each of the platforms.
Okay.
So when you understand the rules of engagement with each of the platforms, then you're able to say, okay, so now I found this bucket of content, how best to distribute it to each embassy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the young girl who's just coming home from Russia. Now she knows you can't smoke in Russia. You can do it in America, but you can't do that in Russia, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So what we think is okay in Facebook is not okay in TikTok.
Right.
What we think is okay in TikTok isn't okay in LinkedIn because they're all different audiences. And so now we've got to understand that. Let's first look at organic traffic. Do you know what organic traffic, what that means?
Well, that would be just like people finding you through like a search engine search, instead rather than paid advertising.
Right. So everything that you do is organic traffic.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that you are creating is going to be the organic traffic. So when you post it in each of those embassies, it's going to be how the search engine pulling you up, because now DCLT is now associated with ADA accessibility, is now associated with gentrification, is now associated with the history of Hayti. And so now you're going to come higher on the search engines as you begin to make these posts. So everything that you do without being paid and everything post that you make is going to be part of your organic traffic. So hold on, let's see. And so your organic traffic is going to come from that owned media that we talked about. Remember, we talked about owned media. This is the attract playbook, and the attract playbook is basically saying, hey, how do you get people to you? You're going to be able to talk to your target audience, and for each campaign we identified a target audience, right? You're going to create lead attraction strategies. And what you're going to do is you're going to attract, engage, sell, and wow. Those are your steps. You attract them with giving them information that they may not know about them. Then you want them to engage, and then you want to sell them something. Like, so for instance, for you with this Grant Street, you're going to attract them with information. You want to engage them, then you want them to give. And then you want to wow them because you want to follow up some kind of way to thank them for their giving, and to be able to congratulate them for their giving, and to be able to then move into a relationship with them. Does that make sense? So that's going to be your process: attract, engage, sell, and wow. Attract is broken up into 3 parts. It's target, attract interest, and to collect leads. So you want to make sure that you take a note of that, because why do you think we want to collect leads?
Okay, so leads, you need to be crystal clear on who you're targeting. Well, what is a lead?
A lead is, have you ever been online and you have left your email address to receive some type of white paper or some type of information? Have you ever done that online?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's lead. Now you are in somebody's database.
Okay, so like getting people on our newsletter or in our donor database. Okay.
Yep. And so that is what the process is. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put some science behind your campaigns so that we can know how we've engaged, what content is engaging people to leave their email address. And then we want to be able to funnel them down this cycle where we have a relationship where they become donors with DCLT. Okay, so this is the first process. We want them to be able to some kind of way sign up for the newsletter. so that then we can get them in a more, we can give them more consistent news around what DCLT is doing. So that we can nurture a relationship where they like, oh, I like this organization. They're really doing a lot in the community. I want to give to them. Okay. And so basically that's it with the attraction piece. You've done all of this part as far as define who you're going to go after. So they said, hey, the first part of this is attract, is to target. And we've said who our target audience is. Attract. We're going to attract them with the information you just collected. And then what we're going to do is we're going to collect their information. Okay. And you can read up on that a little bit more if you want to. I just want to kind of give you the gist of it so you can understand the process that we are going to use.
Hold on just a second. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to pull up DCLT on the Instagram. Okay. And then I'm going to go back to this Instagram course and we're going to watch it.
Okay.
Your Instagram marketing strategy isn't working as well as you want right now because things have changed, but nobody told you, and that's not cool. But the fact is that what used to work even a few months ago is dramatically different than the strategies and tactics that we're seeing succeed on the platform right now. The good news is you're here right now, and I'm going to be giving you the goods on exactly what's working on Instagram right now. I'll show you what's hot, what's not, and what you may already know but might have forgot. That rhymed, didn't it? For example, Instagram is a photo sharing site, right? Wrong. Even the head of Instagram, Adam Masari, has come out and said that video, not photos, is what Instagram is now focused on.
Today, I actually want to talk a bit more about video. And I want to start by saying we're no longer a photo sharing app or a square photo sharing app.
Okay, so you can just make a couple videos and upload them to Instagram and they'll do okay, right? Wrong again. Whoa, sorry, that was a little harsh. What I mean is that it's a lot more complicated than that. For example, you can upload videos as a post, as a story, as a reel, or go live. And each of those has its own advantages and disadvantages, but there is one that's pretty much dominating all others right now. Here's the deal. Only a very small percentage of businesses ever manage to figure out the key to Instagram's success and the secrets that'll allow them to reach more people, build a massive audience of loyal fans, or create million-dollar generating campaigns. So here are 10 Instagram marketing strategies for small businesses, so you can better use the platform to connect and convert your ideal customers and clients. Also, a big thank you to $1.80 for sponsoring this video, but more on that later. For now, let's dive right into the tips, starting with tip number 1, optimize your bio. Now I appreciate this sounds like pretty basic information. I mean, optimize your bio? Isn't that kind of marketing 101? And well, yes, it is, but common knowledge isn't always common practice. And this is why the very first thing you need to do is take a look at your Instagram bio and make sure that it clearly reflects what you do and who you do it for. I couldn't even begin to tell you the dozens and dozens of different bios that I've been sent over the years, clients and my students, where I've gone to them and I've really been confused. I mean, I know these people and I still can't figure out what they're trying to do with their Instagram bio. This is why one of my biggest rules when it comes to marketing is that you always want to prioritize clarity over creativity. First impressions matter, so make sure that you're making it very clear what you do, who you do it for, and why someone should follow you or stick around for what you've got to offer. Also, never forget to include a CTA or call to action, which is that link in bio that guides people towards what you want them to do next. Now, one of the most controversial points in that link in in bio when it comes to Instagram is, should you link them to something like a link tree or a multiple link database, which is essentially just fancy talk for saying a place with a whole bunch of other links? My argument is pretty much always no. Now, there's a number of reasons for this, including direct response marketing principles of always having just one call to action, as well as psychological principles, something known as the paradox of choice, where you give people too many options and they tend to pick none. But if you can focus on just that main entry point into your funnel or into your business, that's probably going to do significantly better than overwhelming people with all kinds of options that may or may not be relevant to them. Tip number 2 is to make sure that you have a brand plan. Now, the way to develop a brand plan for Instagram is to follow the 3 C's of consistency, clarity, and congruence. So let me explain those now. Consistency simply means that you're consistent with your content as well as with your engagement on the platform. So are you regularly posting content, and are you regularly responding to DMs and to messages that you get? We've all seen the websites with the links to social media, and we've clicked on them and we found an abandoned Twitter page from 2015. That ain't good for business. So if you're making the commitment to double down on your Instagram marketing efforts, then make sure that you're carving out the time and the money and the energy to do so appropriately. Next, it's clarity. And again, just like with the bio, this is where you want to be crystal clear about what you do and who you do it for and how you help and what kind of content that you talk about and provide. Also, make sure to take a look at your brand guidelines or your overall style. Is there a consistent theme or aesthetic on your page? Does it look good? And then there's congruence, which is essentially making sure that what you say and what you do and what you post and what you talk about and the value you provide, that it all works together, that it all makes sense. Of course, the best way to do this is to have some set of established brand guidelines. I'm not talking about a fancy 400-page document with all kinds of different graphics and images and logos for your business. Oh, if you have one, that's fantastic. Nope. Instead, I'm talking about just a few simple rules about what kind of colors you'll use, what kind of fonts, what kind of content, what kind of frequency and posting schedule you're going to stick to, and then try to stick to it as closely as possible. All right, tip number 3 is one of the most important and certainly the biggest change that we've seen when it comes to what's actually working on Instagram right now. And that's finding that balance between feed and reels and stories, as well as lives. Now, in the good old days of Instagram, well, we basically focused on feed and on stories. So we had our regular posts that we did, and then we had our stories for our short-term content. Those were the good old days. But things have changed. Instagram has released new features. They've removed old features. They've updated other features, and they just keep messing things around. But that's how it's always been and kind of how it's always going to be. So if you can't beat them, join them. Here's how to join them. All right, so first up is your feed. And this is the main page, the main post that someone sees when they visit. And the term that I like to use here is real good. So essentially, you've taken some time, you've designed a decent post or a decent carousel, and you're kind of putting your best foot forward. Then you have stories. These are what I call real time because they're used for less produced and more authentic, kind of behind the scenes footage of what's going on in real time. Then you have lives, and I call these real authentic. It doesn't quite have the same ring to it, but it works. Essentially, the beauty of going live on Instagram or basically any other social media platform is that it is truly authentic because it's happening live, which means you can't fix slip-ups or mistakes, or if you feel a bit off or you say the wrong thing, and people like it. It's more natural. But then we have reels. And reels, my friend, this is where you want to pay attention. You see, it's no secret that short form vertical video content has kind of taken over in the past few months, maybe even a year or so. Now, it could be argued who stole what feature from what different social media platform, whether it was Instagram stealing from Snapchat or YouTube stealing from Snapchat or TikTok stealing from Snapchat. Whatever the case, doesn't matter who started it, matters where we're at right now. Clearly, TikTok has become a power player. YouTube now has their YouTube Shorts, which is their short form vertical video. And clearly, Instagram has Instagram Reels, which has become the dominant player and the dominant platform or dominant placement, feature, tool, all of the above. Basically, the key to success, at least today, right now on Instagram, is by doubling down and leveraging Instagram Reels. So I say Reels, real reach. This is because the way that the Instagram algorithm works with Reels is that it's far more conducive to getting in front of new audiences and essentially having that potential to go viral. Even if going viral isn't your end goal, it still gives you far more likelihood of getting in front of the people that you actually want to because you're giving Instagram what they want, which is more Reels content. The beauty of filming short form vertical style videos is that you can upload it natively as an Instagram Reel, but you can also upload it natively natively as a TikTok and natively as a YouTube short. Now, when I say natively, what I'm talking about is actually taking the raw footage and putting it directly into the social media platforms rather than copying and pasting different links and sort of just putting an Instagram reel and pretending it's a TikTok, because that doesn't work as well. Okay, next, let's talk hashtags, but we'll make it quick because while they are still pretty relevant, well, there's a lot of other information out there if you want to go deeper. The first phase, though, is that you definitely still need to do research. You've got to find out what hashtags are relevant and applicable to you, to your business, to your industry, as well as, most importantly, to your target market. So essentially, what are the terms that they're looking for? And then you need to use those. I know it's not very profound, but like I've said before, common knowledge isn't always common practice. So you've got to make sure that you're applying this and actually using the hashtags that your target market is using and not just the ones that you think might work best.
Okay, so this gives you an example of how each of them, and I put a video in for each one for Instagram, one for TikTok. Each one is going to go through and tell you the attribute of each of those platforms and the features of each of those platforms and how people are using those platforms. And then what you've got to do, and what I want you to do is I want you to take notes of what you see there. And then I want you to come back next week and tell me about each of those embassies and what you heard about the embassy as far as what you are looking to do with DCLT as far as getting the story out and getting new donors to the pipeline. Does that make sense? Okay. And so each one of them, I went through a social media class last week, and I just want to show you some things with a bio, what they're saying. Did you hear him say that in the organization you want to link to where you're going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely want to use like a link tree as well. So I can put all of our, owned assets in there, easily accessible.
And then two, if you're just running a campaign, like say for instance, you say, and we'll look at this once we get the social media campaign together. And we'll talk about that too, because what I want you to do is I want you to get the embassy together, and then I want you to create a social media calendar for next week for just this entity. And we're on, I always forget, are we on renovations or are we on we're on Grant Street. So this is a new build, right?
Yeah, this is a new build. Yeah.
Okay, so the new build here is probably to get donations. So if you were, say for instance, if you say, Tamisha, I want to put together a social media campaign on all platforms to get donations, then to me, your link should be straight to the donations page.
Okay.
Okay. And so that's how you want to be able to link everything. So you say, okay, we've got this thing on Grant Street. We need to raise X amount over the next 4 months. Then you as a social media manager will turn everything to giving, and everything that you release is going to be about why they should give, what you're doing, AD accessibility, the history of Hayti, with everything, doing a call to action. And what's a call to action?
Well, sorry, trying to think of how to like reword it. Like trying to give people a concrete way to participate or give back to what you're doing.
Right. And so this week, your assignment is to learn the embassy, bring the notes back to me. I want you to tell me how each different, what are the attributes of each of those embassies according to the information there. And then what I want you to do is I want you to come in and I want you to do a social media calendar for Grant Street. Let's see, let me go back. I got a lot of tabs up. Hold on. Let me think, where am I? Close that one. So this is your social media calendar. Let me show you how to get there. So this is the next lesson. And I'm putting a lot of stuff in here too, because once I finish this will be a complete course. You've got all your stuff in Zoho. When I run this, a lot of the stuff, and that's because you're an agency and I want you to walk away with it in Zoho and have it there instead of just my system. So the next is map the customer journey with owned assets. So you're going to do this. And then what you're going to do is you're going to come in and you're going to map your customer journey for the particular campaign. And so if we go into starting the social media calendar,
Mhm.
It gives you a video to watch, and then it tells you what your ideal outcomes are, it gives you some more information. And then here is the social media calendar right here. Here it explains it. When you click right here on social media calendar, it's going to bring you to the calendar.
Okay.
Okay, so when you so you'll be able to, it'll tell you what publish date you want to put there.
Mhm.
You want to be able to say what campaign. So this is going to be the campaign for Grant Street, new construction. And then you're going to say content details. So you've already got the bucket of content. And so you're going to use your bucket of content, and you're going to say, okay, what is this post going to say? And that's what it's going to be right here, content details. And then you're going to say social media. You're going to tell me which platform this is.
Mhm.
And then you're going to tell me the post type, whether or not it's going to be, and I should probably change that. Don't worry about the post type. I want you to tell me the content type,
Okay.
whether or not it's going to be a photo, graphic, a video, that kind of stuff. And you also have, so your content can come from the assets that we have in the library. You know how to get there, right? We went over that, how to get to the Zenfolio library.
Yeah, I think I know. I think I have that bookmarked somewhere.
Okay. If not, we can show you how to get there. But now what you're going to do is, because you come up with the bucket of content, and let's go back to your bucket of content. Let's see, let's take that down. Okay, so here's your bucket of content. And so week 1 is ADA accessibility. You're going to tell me how you're going to communicate this for week 1.
Okay, so is the calendar I'm making for next week just for week 1, or is it for all of it?
Is all weeks.
Okay.
So it's for week 1, week 2, week 3, and you decide. So remember how let's go back to the original marketing guide, because now you've got, what will help you is if you put all this information together. It's segmented right now. Let's go back and let's pull it together, because what's going to happen is we're going to give Sherry a marketing strategy for all 6 of those things that she did with the end of the year report. And so when we give it to her, we're going to have a marketing strategy. We're going to have a content calendar. And so your executive director, will be able to be knowledgeable of what's going to be done. So she can't, once you start to work, she won't come back and say, hey, this doesn't agree with our corporate voice. She's able to see, as you're building the campaign, what's going to be said on behalf of Durham Community Land Trustees. And she gets to approve these things before you go out and then go and execute and go get the content. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So let's go back. Good job on the bucket of content. How long did it take you to come up with the content list?
Not gonna lie, this did take a while, but that's also because I was having a good time. I mean, because I like, I love just reading articles and it made me feel like I was back in college, like doing like research for a paper. So
that's exactly what it is. You heard him say the first part of this is the research.
Right, which I enjoy, and I was, learning a lot. So
okay, and so it is. So what I want to do is I want to go back to, was it the business plan that you had? Where I think it's the project overview. Okay, no, that's not. That's Grant Street New Construction. Okay, your end of the year accomplishments is here. Okay, so what you're going to do is new construction. Okay, so because what happens now is every time that bucket of content, now you can change it, but a lot of information is generalized as to what's going on now. So what you do is you come here to where you have the green sustainability, new construction. New construction, you add all of that information here.
Okay.
You copy paste, you say new product price, and you put marketing content. And then now new construction becomes a packet. And we're going to make a packet for each one of these things that you just did here.
So I'm adding to that new construction section, I'm adding the content bucket
The
or
bucket of content. Mhm.
oh, okay.
And you're
All right.
going to call that marketing content.
Okay.
So for new construction, now you've got a blueprint of what was once said in the last campaign, but now the next person doesn't have to start from scratch.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So we're going to add that there. And then what you're going to do is after you add marketing content, the marketing content line, and you learn about each of the embassies, I want you to put the notes for the embassies here. And let me show you what that looks like. So we go back to the original document. And I think it was the marketing plan. I think this is where we put it. Strategy, assessing the strategy, select platforms, clear goals. Okay. You may want to refer to this, make a note. I'm on assessing strategy. That's what we're doing right now. And you see how we have this tool here that tells us each of these platforms and kind of what they're used for. This is a good reference point. So the videos that you're going to watch, well, I don't even think it breaks it down as good as this because it tells you Facebook, how many users there, the age there, what is used for, the purpose. So that's very, very important. The purpose is building relationships, best for here, and then the downside of each one of them. And so whatever notes you come up with the embassies, you definitely want to add this to it because this is then going to decide what you're going to do on each one of those, in each one of those platforms. Okay, so make a note to come back here and then also make a note to come here. This is your marketing strategy. This is the example that I put in. So this is what you're doing with the new construction. You've got the objective of it. You've got the goal of it. You've already done that. You've done your target audience. And so right here, it tells you, this is kind of how I did the refer back to this document. Facebook will reinforce the brand loyalty of Yoni Parlor customers. So here, what we said was, since Facebook was about building brand loyalty, this is where we're going to build a brand of DCLT. With Twitter, it's about news and articles. So what we're going to do is we're going to build awareness for Yoni Parlor Durham by providing, by utilizing hashtags, organizing conversations around relationships and fertility. And Twitter will be used in conjunction with the women's retreat so that we could actually create a news article around the women's retreat and then and tweet it out with Twitter. So you want to be very, very conscious of what each of the embassy, what they're used for, and then apply that piece to that platform. And then you want to say what the campaign looks like in your social media calendar. You got it? Okay, so good job. I got faith. I love the bucket of content. You did a great job with the research. Now you just got to learn the embassies, and then let's look at how you are going to let people know that DCLT is building on each one of those platforms.
Okay.
Do I need to take you to Zenfolio to show you where some of the content is located?
Let me double check and see right now if I can just pull it up. Zenfolio. I feel like I was on there. Yeah, maybe if you could, yes,
Yeah.
like put a link in the message in the chat here.
Okay,
I
I can
can
do that.
save it.
And how do you feel about this process? Do you feel like you're learning a lot?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, good information. I mean, me growing up on the internet doesn't really like translate to knowing exactly how to use it for business purposes. So this is all great information.
Yeah, it's a science. And so a lot of people don't really understand that it's not just about posting, it's a lot more that goes into it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Okay, let's see. So this is okay. So I'm just gonna send you this because you have libraries in 2021 and you have libraries in 2022.
Mhm.
And so they're listed alphabetical. And so I'm just gonna give you this and let's put it in the chat. Okay. Okay, so you get it.
Let's see here. Got it. Great.
Okay. Okay. So we've got, so you familiar now, repeat your assignment. So I'll know that you know what you're supposed to be doing.
Okay, so using the section on embassies and taking notes on the aspects of each embassy and what I want DCLT to do with each.
Mhm.
Using the content bucket to make a social media calendar for Grant Street.
Mhm. New construction, not just Grant Street, new construction.
Okay, for new construction.
Right.
Okay. But I'm using the content bucket from Grant Street, right?
Right. And so so even though you're referring to this content bucket for Grant Street, it's really the content bucket for new construction.
Okay.
So and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna add your content bucket for Grant Street to the new construction marketing strategy piece.
Okay,
Right?
right.
Right.
Adding that. So the social media calendar. Okay, so it's in Too Much TV, and and it's like it's a spreadsheet, right?
It's actually, if you go to when you go into your assignment for this week and you're going into mapping the customer journey for chapter 4, it's in that lesson.
Okay, and am I drafting each individual post in there as well?
You are in your mind saying, okay, so we did a week, so what does that look like? And so let's do one. Let's do
Okay.
one more. Okay, let's see. So you can kind of get a gist of it. Okay. I got so much stuff up. This is how my brain thinks. This is how.
No matter what I do, I always have a million tabs open. I can never downsize.
Okay, so it's not just me. Okay, that's a good thing.
No. One time Selena saw my desktop and she was like, "How do you live like this?" I was like, "This is small potatoes."
Okay, so did she already have her retirement party? She did, didn't she?
No, I'll send you an invite. It's next month on January 12th.
Okay. Okay.
So I'll definitely send you the details for that.
Thank you. Because I was like, I think I missed it, but I don't have it on my calendar. I didn't know.
No. We're gonna wait until after the holidays.
Okay. So let's look at this. So marketing campaign. And what I'll do is you can actually change these and we can actually send them, we can actually do like new construction, that kind of thing. Like that. That's how you do it. So let's do new construction.
Mhm.
I think you have renovation. What else do you have? Whatever they are. Well, what I did was I clicked on it and it brought up the tab. So hold on, let me take you back further, even further, so I can know that you know how to get in here.
Mhm.
Okay, so here it is. So this is the social media calendar. This is your lesson for this week. Let's go back to course page. Okay, so here's your content. So we've done all of this stuff. That's everything that we've done to pull together the different strategies and that kind of stuff. So this is where you are this week with Embassies and map the customer journey with owned assets. So when you come here to starting the social media calendar, you're going to come here, watch the video, and this is all the information on that. This gives you information on how to use the sheet. Okay, how to copy it. You're supposed to copy it and copy you're supposed to copy you're supposed to copy the template into your own Google Drive. So when you start to change it, you're changing your own copy of it, and it tells you how to do that here.
Okay, cool.
Okay, and so then when you click your social media calendar, there you go. It brings it up. Okay. And so now we have changed it. Everything is going to be new construction. Okay, for this particular calendar. And then what it says, okay, topic, title, we're gonna have it's Grant Street. And then content and details is going to be leading people to become donors for the campaign. Okay. Content details. Educating. And because you're educating organic traffic of DC during land trustees,
DCLT.
DCLT's new, okay, organic traffic on DCL's new construction project, new construction project, Grant Street. Right. Grant Street, okay. Okay, and so here are your different posts. Post type. I don't think you need that. I don't think you need that. We're just gonna just delete the column.
Okay.
Okay, and then the type. Okay, so then, okay, so what I would do is I would come over here to your bucket of content. Let me see where if I can find it. I think I may have closed it.
Okay, pause real quick. I'm so sorry. I gotta use the bathroom. I'll be
Okay,
right
no
back.
problem, no problem, no problem. I'm just gonna pull up your content while you're gone. Okay. Okay, remind me. Okay, it's in the toolbox. Okay, yeah. Okay, grand story content bucket. Okay. Okay, so what you're going to do is, okay, as a nation, the US is on the verge of a tremendous boom in its elderly population. I would just start with that. I would copy paste that, copy,
Mhm.
and I would paste that to your, let's see, let's which one of this. Okay, so here. Okay. Content details, paste. Now, how do you want to communicate that? Do you want to communicate that in a photo, a graphic, a GIF, a video?
What social network will this go on?
Okay, so you tell me what social network do you want to put this on? Because in my mind, I already know how I would, because I'm a marketer, so I already know what I would do. I just want to see how you see this.
Okay. I would probably put that on Twitter.
Okay. So you took a different route than me. So Twitter. So what is Twitter used for?
Like spreading news and awareness.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then you, and I probably need to put here an article. So then if you're putting on Twitter, then I'm gonna link this to a blog.
Okay.
And this is just going to be something that is going to then be a blog that I got to come in and create. So this is something else. It says no asset. Let's see. Let's change this and put blog. So if you're going to go to Twitter, then I would say, oh, wait a minute. I would say that, I would say that this would be a blog. Okay. And that's it. Right now, that's all you got to do. So,
Okay.
and then but you got part of your marketing strategy is you got to tell me how many times you're going to post to Twitter a week, how many times you're going to post to Instagram a week, and how many times you're going to post to all the platforms per week, and then create a calendar of what this is. Right now, we're not creating the content. We're just pulling the story out, your story frame out.
Okay.
And coming up with your plan. Okay. Now, so the blog, once you do the blog, I would, because as a nation, the US is on the verge of a tremendous boom in its elderly population. So then when you say blog, you need at least 5 paragraphs to be able to say what this is. And so that's when we come back to your bucket of content. Because next week, we're going to start creating some of your content.
Right.
Okay.
I'm curious, what would you have done with the?
I would have made it a picture, easy. I would have
Right.
got a whole person. Oh, this would have looked like this. It would have been looked like, okay, so I would have probably done maybe Pinterest. Well, Pinterest is I don't know how well DCLT would do with Pinterest. So I would have maybe said, okay, Instagram.
Yeah, I don't think Pinterest is in our future.
Is
But,
don't just count it, because you have a lot of homemakers there. You know what I'm saying? So if I was you, I would say renovate kitchens, and you may find a lot of people that can donate to you there. So I would just understand how to approach it and study it really, really hard to see how I can get donors out of Pinterest, because you could probably find a lot of donors out of there. I would say Instagram, graphic, content asset. Hold on, I probably want to be able to say graphic asset, Canva. Then I would go to Canva. I would, because Canva is a very good free for the most part. I pay for Canva, but that's just because
Oh yeah, we have Canva, don't worry.
yeah. So I would go to Canva. I would get me, what do we say? Instagram post. I think we said Instagram, right? So I would come over here to Instagram story, Instagram, video link add Instagram story. So that's all the stuff. I don't know what the dimensions are for Instagram, but I would know the dimensions. I would go back to Instagram, get the dimensions. I would come in here. If I can get to it again. Let's just say I would just custom size it up. Let's give me a 240 by 240. I would come in here, put in elderly. Because I'm looking quickly. I want 30 assets really quick. Let's see, pictures, photos. Oh, here we go. She's praying for a new house. There we go. Put the words over her face, DCLT, and I have me an asset.
Fair enough. Are these photos on, so like these photos on camera are just like Creative Commons, like licensed for, okay, universal use. Okay.
Yep. You know, and I would put whatever copy that we just had there. I would just come in and this is not the best, you know, but I would, you know, put some thought in it, but this helps you to look at the storyline. What storyline are you creating? Right. Stick that on top of her face, put DCLT on it. And then, because what people start to recognize is when you have different content on different search engines, people recognize, wait a minute, they're really telling a story here. I've done it with the mentees. People come up to me and start to have conversation with me about my branded programs. And that's just because they're following me on Instagram, or they'll see me and they're like, you're Tamisha Thomas? I'm like, yeah. I follow you on Facebook. And I'm like, I really hadn't really put any real effort into it. But people really respect the fact that you come with a storyline. And this is what your social media calendar is. What is my storyline? And what's so great about it is you already got a bucket of content. So your storyline is already there. And so you're already able to pull from that storyline. And now we can see how the story makes sense at just a glimpse. I would do one for Instagram, one for Pinterest, one for whatever it is you want to do, and do each one of these for each one of your calendars under new construction for Grant Street.
Okay. Repeat that real quick.
So I would do, so for this, when I copy, I would copy one specifically for Twitter.
Okay.
I would say new construction Twitter, and I would just do my Twitter. I would copy one specifically for YouTube or whatever, Facebook, and do one specifically for Facebook for new construction Grant Street. So then that way, when you look at the story, you're not looking at it from, okay, Instagram, Twitter, you can look at the story and clearly see the story laid out before you on that particular platform. Does it make sense?
Okay, so having the full story on one platform rather than spread across multiple ones.
Right, on one spreadsheet.
Right, okay.
So if you say, I'm going to post to Facebook 3 times a week, then I should see my Monday post. I should see my Monday date, Tuesday date for week 1. So week 1, Monday, week 1, Wednesday, weekday, you know, I should be able to see that on week 1, 3 times a week. I should be able to see my post. Week 1, if you want to do 4 times a week, I should be able to see my post, and I can clearly see the story that I'm going to tell. Okay, you got it? So next week, just to give you a heads up, what we're going to do is then we're going to put the funnel together.
Okay.
So this is just a track piece. And so next week we're going to put the funnel together, because after they click, then what happens? Where are they going to go?
Okay. So
Okay.
after they click, you want them to be able to go to the donation page, right?
Or wherever you want to, like if you go to Twitter, you're gonna, sometimes it's just about raising awareness. So you'll get that 9 times out of 10, most people are not gonna become a donor just like that.
Right.
It's gonna take some consistency over time. It's gonna take, that kind of stuff. So the funnel part is after you've attracted them for a while, then
Mhm.
where they're going to go. Sometimes with the Twitter, they're gonna go to an article to read more. And so it's gonna take you actually them getting to know you and coming to DCLT over and over again before then they go into your sales funnel. And then your sales funnel is going to be like, hey, donate. Hey, we come into your email box. Hey, you're abandoning your cart. Hey, here we are. We're DCLT. How you got? So that stuff after the relationship is established and they're starting to think about giving, then that process, we're going to put that together as well.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Sounds good.
You have any more questions for me?
Let me look at my notes. I don't think I do. I think I know what to do for next week.
Okay.
Good. I think I'm good.
Okay. Well, how is Christmas? So next week is not Christmas, but the following week, do you want to move our appointment some further down in the week, or did you want to just move it because then you have New Year's and Christmas that both are probably going to be Monday holidays.
Right. Next week is fine with me. If it's fine with you, that's the 19th. That's totally fine with me. Yeah, Christmas and New Year's are holidays for us.
Okay. So did you want to move it further in the week, or you just want to take those 2 weeks off?
Oh yeah, let's just move it. I mean, if you have time, we can just move them further in the week. If just depending on your schedule.
I'll be out of town, but I mean, it's pretty early. So I mean, I can move it further in the weekend and make sure that I'm available. If that's what you want. Let me look at my calendar. Well, we can look at that next week and I can let you know.
Yeah. Just let me know what kind of availability you have. And if you needed to take a week off, obviously it's totally fine. I mean, it's the holidays, like enjoy yourself. But yeah.
Yes. Okay. So I will be in Florida. I'll see what that looks like, but I will see you next week with your social media calendar.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And you have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.